Journaling is already a great tool for the mental health of every person, but is a great tool in particular for the highly sensitive people. Here I want to show you 5 main benefits that an highly sensitive person gets when is journaling on regular basis. Number 1, journaling helps you to slow down your overthinking. If you're used to have a kind of really monkey mind, in the sense that you might think at a super speed and also about thousands of things at the same time, journaling is going to help you if, for example, you decide to try to write down on paper and with a pen what you are thinking. You will never be able to write down at the same speed you are thinking. Therefore, what you already get is that your mind is going already to slow down your thoughts. And this is going to help you really to see already a huge difference in your overthinking. In particular, if you allowed yourself to do it during the day, anytime you feel that your mind is, let's say, exploding. And it is not the same thing that talk with someone, express what are your thoughts in your mind. When you are writing down, in some way you are also getting an idea on paper, let's say, of what's going on in your mind. In some way it's almost like someone is reformulating you what is passing in your mind. And then we arrive to the second benefit. Journaling on a regular basis is help you to process your emotions. In fact, again, you're writing down what are your thoughts, but at the same time, with your thoughts, you have also emotions. Therefore, the more you get used to write down, the more will be easier for you to write down also how you feel, where you feel it, what's going on in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, and therefore you are going to be deeper and in connection with who you are in reality and what you really want. And it will be also a tool that is going to help you to not only write down what you are feeling, but also read it back after a certain time or during the day and see where you are now respect to that moment, with a specific emotion, with a specific feeling, or with a specific thought. So as is going to slow you down your thoughts, as is going to help you to process your emotion, then we arrive to the third benefit of journaling on a regular basis for an highly sensitive person. That is better perspective respect to some complicated situation. Because actually when you are writing down things, in some way you are putting yourself in a position of observer of what's going on inside you, but also in the environment where you are, or respect to the situation, to the complicated situation you are facing. Therefore, it's going to help you really to take a step back and see things as they are. So those 3 benefits are going to help you with the 4th one benefit of journaling regularly, every day if it's possible. And is the fact that is going to help you to release stress. In fact, if you slow down your mind, if you are able to process your emotion, and therefore you are in position to see things from an observer point of view, actually you are in a kind of letting go mood. Therefore you are going to release stress because you are going to see things from a different perspective, from a lighter perspective, and you are going to release also tensions, and therefore in some way you are going to integrate the different things, and as you get clear also on several situations, it will be easier to let go of different emotions, different feelings, different reaction. And therefore, in all this, we're going to the 5th main benefit of journaling on a regular basis. That is the fact of getting more and more self-confident. In fact, if you take the time to write down what you think and eventually to read it back, if you take the time to process or write it down your emotion and go deep and double check everything is happening inside you, taking the time to write down all the different point of view or all the different aspects of a complicated situation, and therefore taking a decision, eventual decision, from a different perspective where you have let go of all the possible reaction, but instead you are aligned with what you really feel. And with the fact that with all this you are also less stressed, this deeper work on different aspects is going to help you to know yourself more. Because when you write down how you feel about a specific person or a specific situation, it might be you are going to write also what you would like that this situation or this person would be, or what are your dreams, or maybe a certain point will be more clear which are your strengths, or which are things that you could improve. In some way, journaling is going to help you to make a deeper work inside you, and in some way an inner journey. And when you get used to that, it's starting to be really something that is part of your daily life, where you really feel so much the difference with respect to when you cannot do it, that you might start to feel you want to write down things more time during the day, because it's going to help you more to see what is necessary that you see, what are your necessary action during the day. And it doesn't mean journaling in the sense of making a plan, but really journaling in the sense of writing down what is passing in your mind. So if you have never journaled before, I always suggest to not use your computer or your laptop to make a journal, but much more go with paper and with a pen. There are people that likes to have journal, let's say fancy, nicer. Myself, I know that I prefer something, let's say, more practical, like for example with a spiral, so that in whatever way I'm turning my paper, I will always be able to write it down in an easy way, and in a way that makes me get even a pleasure to feel the ink on the paper. And there, for me, the other important thing is also to choose the right pen. You're not taking note of what you're going to buy in the supermarket today. You are taking the pleasure to write down what you are thinking, taking the pleasure to write down about yourself. And therefore, for me, what I found extremely important is also to find the pen that gives me really the feeling that everything is going to be written in a fluid manner. And this is from, let's say, the practical way of the tool. But if you have never done a journaling, I really suggest you to write a book that I found really interesting, and is the one of Julie Cameron, The Artist's Way, if I remember well. I'm going to put the link somewhere, or maybe a picture here so you can see the title of the book, where she's speaking more about how to find your own creativity, but she really explained from her point of view which is the best way for journaling. And what I really found really interesting and useful for me at that time when I started, and we speak about many years ago, it was the fact that I don't know you how you are, but for sure myself I was particularly perfectionist, and therefore when I was starting to journaling I was like, okay, what I could write down that is nice, and therefore I was trying really to put the sentence down in a certain way, like I was, let's say, writing a book. And therefore there were days where I couldn't write anything, in particular if I was just after the wake up. And the point of journaling is not to write something nice. is to write down what is in your mind. In the way is in your mind. So whatever is grammar, form, or whatever, it's not the problem. And it has not to be neither in your mind. And what Julie Cameron is really explaining in her books is the idea that even if you have a day where you have the impression you cannot write anything, just write always 3 pages, doesn't matter of what, it might be the same sentence, for 3 pages, until the day that you start to feel to write down something that is different. And that is my way to share with myself what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I want, what I don't want, what I need to see with a more observer position, what I need to see in a more distant way, and so on. So it's a chat with me. That's why I don't mind if my journal is fancy. The important thing is that it's comfortable. The important thing for me is that I can put it in my bag and travel with it the whole day, and no matter where I am, I can just have it with me and write down an idea, a thought, different about a situation, different point of view, and decide which is the best for me. Just take note of an information that I just got and I don't want to forget. Now, let me know if you have already practiced of journaling, and if this video was useful for you. Feel free to put a like and also to subscribe. Thank you for watching and happy journaling.